What's up guys, Houston here. For those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. I really appreciate the support. Now today's video, we're going to be talking about the banks that use Experian, because I made a video about TransUnion because people's TransUnion is usually higher than the Experian or Equifax. But some people say, well, my Experian is higher than my TransUnion. So I decided to go back to the drawing board and see what banks actually pull from Experian. Now, here's the interesting part. There are some new guys in the mix now, some new tech guys that are in the mix now, and we're going to talk about those two that helps you build up your business credit, okay? Using Experian as well as Dun & Bradstreet. But first of all, let's really jump into this so we can understand why I'm talking about these here specific banks. It's not just the bank itself, but it's the strategy that we always want to focus on. So that being said, the first bank we're talking about is FNBO. Okay, that's First National Bank of Omaha. Now, First National Bank of Omaha, they're not all over the country, but there are ways to be able to get access to them, and I like them. And the reason that I like them is because of what they can actually do for you. So some of the things that they can do for you, you can get a secured business card, a regular business card, a regular credit card, right? Now, here's something that I really like. Say that you're a person that you're in debt, okay? Say that you're a person that's in debt, and because you're in debt, you're trying to figure out, like, man, if I can just get these, if I can get them to stop charging me interest just for a little while to give me some breathing room, I can make the payment, but the interest is eating me up, right? So with First National Bank, they actually do have a credit card that goes for 12 months. 12 months, no interest, okay? So that way, if you do a balance transfer, so say that you had a $10,000 credit card and the interest was like 23%, and then you qualify for the First National Bank credit card, and it's 0% for 12 months. That can give you a lot of leverage because it's helping you save money monthly, right? That you can apply toward putting down your debt instead of just paying the interest. All right, so that's the reason that I'm looking at First National Bank. Now, in terms of talking about strategy, like I said, we're always about strategy and building a relationship. So understanding that First National Bank, they offer the secured business card, the business card, and the regular credit cards. So say that you have some money and you don't qualify for right now for the regular business card, then why not open up a secured business credit card with them and use the secured business credit card? Like I said, a lot of these financial institutions that may offer business credit cards say they don't report, but this data is being picked up somewhere, and more likely you're still building a relationship with these financial institutions. So that's the reason I say, even if you don't have strong personal credit, to get qualified for a business credit card, at least start with a secured business credit card, okay? And so, like I said, the first bank is First National Bank. Now, the next one is PNC, okay? Now, there's a lot of people that belong to PNC, and of course, they know they offer checking accounts, business accounts. They also offer business credit cards, okay? And they pull from Experian as well. So the good thing about it is that you're building this relationship again. So if you with PNC Bank and you have challenging credit, opening up a secured card, then open up the personal account and the business account and transferring the money from the secured card over to your personal account, and the personal account over to your business account. That way you start building up the business credit with the activity going on. So as your credit gets stronger, now it puts you in a better position to where you're able to get internally recognized through the financial institution to be able to offer you business credit cards and personal credit cards, even though you may have a lower credit score. Okay, So that's the reason that, again, we focus on strategy, not just talking about the bank itself. Now, here's one that a lot of people like. Andrews Federal Credit Union. Okay? And again, here we go. We're trying to get out of debt, right? We have a lot of debt. We have high interest rates. Being able to qualify to get into Andrews Federal Credit Union, now we're able to transfer some of that debt over to their 12-month Visa credit cards that offer 0 interest for 12 months. Okay, because we're trying to save money to get out of debt. But not only that, how do we join it is through the American Council. They have American Consumer Council is where how you join them. All right. Now, again, we talked about strategy, building a relationship, because we want to get more money, not only on the personal side, but on the business side. So that's the reason that I tell you guys to open up the business account as well as the personal account. Okay, and like I said, if they have a secure card, work with that secure card. Again, building a relationship, building that trust factor, so they know that, hey, you know, this here person may not have the best credit, but again, we see there a lot of activity. They have a lot of our products. So again, they're willing to take a chance on you because you have more of their products. You're actually utilizing their products. And again, guys, remember I told you the secret to when you're joining like some of these financial institutions, like especially like the credit unions and everything, the big secret is try to do direct deposit. Okay? That's the #1 secret. If you're able to do direct deposit with some of these financial institutions and stuff, that lets them know you're really committed to them and that you really want to build a relationship with them. So again, Andrews Federal Credit Union, they do pull from Experian. Here's another one. I think it's pronounced Affinity. All right. Now with Affinity, they offer the business credit cards as well. All right. So they have business bank accounts and stuff as well as the secured card. One thing I didn't see that I was looking for to see if they offered 0% interest credit cards for at least 12 months. I think they probably offer it for maybe 6 months, but not 12 months. And so 6 months is not bad when you're trying to get out of debt, but I'm always trying to look for the credit card that offers you the longest period of no interest. The reason is because as your credit builds up, here's the thing about it. Say that, let's look at Andrews Federal Credit Union. So say that you got qualified, okay, for their credit card, all right, that offers 0 interest for 12 months. All right, I want you to just stick with me for a minute so you can understand what I'm saying. So if they're offering you 0 interest for 12 months and say that you had a $10,000 credit card with them, right? And then, like I told you, you look at the other banks like maybe U.S. Bank Platinum, right? And I think theirs is like 18 to 20 months. So on a $10,000 loan, you're possibly doing almost 3 years. Almost 3 years of no interest on the loan to help you leverage. Okay, so that's the reason that I tell you to focus on strategy instead of the financial institution. Now, in terms of, I mentioned U.S. Bank, of course, with U.S. Bank, they pull from TransUnion. Okay, so we talked about it in a previous video that I put a link to, so you can actually check that out about all the credit cards and banks that pull from TransUnion. All right, but if your credit score is higher on the Experian, then these are the banks that you need to be paying attention to. Okay, now you have your State Department Credit Union. Okay, now for whatever the reason, a lot of people like the State Department Credit Union, and anybody can join. That's another reason that these certain credit unions that I'm talking about, these are credit unions that don't have restrictions, like with Navy Federal, you have to be military or have somebody that's military or some type of relation, right? Well, with these credit unions that I'm sharing with you today that pull from Experian, these credit unions here, now they're actually pulling from Experian, but you can also join, like I said, through American Consumer Council in order to become a member of them. All right. Now here's something that I really want to share with you guys, and I'm always talking about it because they are good. Granted that they don't offer they don't offer checking accounts. Okay, so they don't offer checking accounts, but they do offer savings accounts. Okay, and we talked about how to build a relationship, and that's with American Express, because American Express, you pretty much guarantee that they're going to pull from the Experian. Some people say they have pulled a TransUnion before, their TransUnion FICO 8 or something like that, but the majority of the time they're going to, if you're trying to get in with American Express, if you're lucky to get in with them, and I wouldn't say lucky, it's just the strategy you use. I always say use the strategy that I said. Open up the savings account, add American Express authorized user, right? And again, for those of you that want to get in American Express, we do offer authorized users for American Express, okay? Now, here's the thing about it. Like with American Express, I told you that once you get approved for like a personal credit card or even a business credit card, everything else is internal from that point. Everything else is internal. So when you apply for other credit cards and stuff, you no longer getting these inquiries and stuff on your credit report. So that's the reason that I really like American Express, because as your credit gets better and stuff and you want to apply for other credit cards and stuff, they definitely won't be doing a hard pull on your credit. They're using internal data. Now, there's something else that I did. American Express, with most of their loans and stuff, is invite only on the personal side as well as the business side, right? But here's something else. I made a video and I was talking about how they teamed up with Axion. Axion is a non-profit, okay? And they gave them $40 million for small businesses, right? They gave them $40 million for small businesses. So the thing about it, with these restrictions, these are bad credit loans, either bad credit or no credit loans, all right? And it's American Express bad credit loan. I made a video on it, so you can check out the channel for that as well. But the good thing about it, even if you don't have any credit, with this Axion American Express loan, you still can qualify for that loan, okay? And again, like I said, they're focusing more on the operation of the business. So you have to be in business for at least 12 months. But you can check that video out. Now, here's something I forgot to mention. A lot of times when you're applying for like a SBA loan, what they're going to do, they're more likely is going to pull your Experian, okay, as well. They're more likely to pull your Experian as well. So, which is good. Again, if you have a high experience credit score, like sometimes like with the SBA, if you have a 620 or higher credit score, you have a higher chance of being approved and stuff. But there's one company that I told you guys about that I really want you all to pay attention to. And so this here company, they pull from Experian, and this is Brex, okay? They're a new technology company that deals with credit and stuff. But the cool thing about it, with Brex, they pull from Experian, okay? They report to DMB as well, okay? So if those of you that is worrying about building a relationship with Dun & Bradstreet, you may want to check out Brex. Now, I'm going to give you a backdoor secret, all right? And this is how, if you're trying to build a relationship with, say, the SBA, because the SBA checks your business credit file and stuff. And so the thing about with the SBA, going back to the Small Business Administration with the SBA, all right, they have the Small Business Financial something, but it's the SBFE, right? And so what they do, they picking up all this data, their small business data collection process as well. Now, here's the thing about it. People that have this credit card here, Divvy, they're on Experian, okay? So they're reporting to Experian. But also, this information is being picked up by SBFE, all right, and which is the database for Small Business Administration. So that's a backdoor strategy if you're trying to build a relationship with the SBA, so that you can get more funding at a lower interest rate and not jumping through all the hoops and everything. Then Divvy may be that company you want to check out. Now, on a national level, let's talk about some of the other ones. Like you have Citi Bank, okay? Now, like I said, with the strategy with Citi Bank, they don't accept bad credit, but if it's, I would say that they don't accept people with no credit for their secured cards, okay? But if you're able to get a secured credit card with them, open up the business bank account and the personal bank account, okay? Now, I always tell people to do the Citi Costco, all right? But again, say that you a person that you have one of Citibank's card. Now, Citibank does pull from Experian. Now, some people have said they had the experience of TransUnion, but the majority of time is Experian, all right? Now, understanding when they pull from Experian, so say that you had, again, that strategy we always talk about. You had a department store card, okay? Say that you had the Home Depot card, right? And they pulled your Experian, they gave you a $500 credit card, right? So the Home Depot credit card, people are saying that you can't buy Visa gift cards with it. Again, I have not experienced that, because whenever I go to Home Depot, if I want to buy a Visa gift card or whatever, I get it with my Home Depot card. So in terms of what they're saying, I can't vouch for that because I have not experienced that yet. So maybe it's a regional thing, or maybe it's a store thing, or maybe just certain stores don't allow it or whatever, that may have restrictions or whatever. But again, I know when I've used my Home Depot to get the Visa gift cards, right? And I liquidated the Visa gift cards to open up a secure credit card and then transfer that money over to the personal account and then to the business account, while constantly making weekly deposits. While making weekly deposits like $25, $50 into my business account, helps me build up my business credit much faster. Also, because you're utilizing more accounts with these major financial institutions, again, even though you may have a lower credit, you have a higher chance of being approved internally, even though your credit report says something else. Because again, a lot of these financial institutions, they have internal scoring, right? Because they have internal scoring, you have to keep that in mind. It's not just what you see on your Experian file, they're also looking at their other credit files, all right? Now, in terms of trying to help you out, you may want to lock up your safe stream, okay? Then they have a early warning system, right? So a lot of banks are starting to use their early warning system, all right? And of course, your LexisNexis. So those are some of the things that you can lock up to help give you a higher chance of qualifying for that credit card and stuff. All right, because again, they're pulling from third-party companies, so you don't know if not only they're pulling from the regular credit bureaus, but these third-party companies. So if you lock these up, they can't access that, right? So all they have to do is look at the credit file. All right, so Citibank is one of those, Bank of America. And again, some of these cards, it may depend on the region you're in. All right, so like with Bank of America on the West Coast, you're looking at Experian, but some people Midwest or the East Coast, they may have pulled your TransUnion, right? So that's the thing about it, is that thinking about what are they going to do. So the best thing I can definitely tell you is when you're trying to apply to get credit from these financial institutions, one thing you want to do, see if they have 0% interest credit cards for 1 year to transfer high interest balance credit cards, so that you can only be paying toward the principal of the card instead of interest on the card. That's number one. Again, seeing if they not only just offer personal accounts, but checking accounts as well, and see if they offer maybe secured business credit cards also. Now, here's another one that I want you all to really think about. You have NASA. Okay, I'm putting NASA here. I know I did a lot of right. NASA Federal Credit Union. Okay, now some people don't like NASA, but in terms of the generosity of giving you high limits of credit lines, NASA has been known to do it as well. So you got a couple companies out there, and again, pulling from Experian. So you have quite a few credit unions out there that are starting to try to compete with Navy Federal Credit Union. And for those of you that have seen the Navy Federal Credit Union video, and that's been getting approved for $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 credit cards, and you have bad credit using the strategy that I suggested, hey, congratulations. You know, at least you know the information that I'm putting out, it actually does work. All right, and for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, again, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like, and let me know, guys, if you've used any of these financial institutions, and what are your thoughts on them. Let me know what are your thoughts on these. Okay, so this is Houston with Three-Way Funding. I appreciate you all supporting me. Thank you.